How much do steroid cycles cost? That's a question I get asked all the time. People are curious to know what the guys at the top level, what they're spending on their cycles and, what they're taking and so on and so forth. And I can tell you that it gets pretty pricey. And I can tell you from my experience, back when I was competing on the national level, that's the national level, that, there was a time when I was taking 18 IUs of growth a day. I was actually taking 20, but I say 18 because a bottle of Serostim is 18 IUs. So I was taking a little more than a bottle a day of Serostim growth hormone. Now, Serostim, if you were to buy it in a pharmacy, the price for a kit was and still is around $2,000 a kit. There's 7 bottles in a kit, so I was going through 4 kits a month. Now, if I was to get a prescription from a doctor, do the math, 2, 4, 6, 8, that would be $8,000 a month. And that's just on growth hormone. Obviously, I wasn't going through a doctor and I wasn't getting it from a prescription. I wasn't paying $2,000 a month. Serostim is prescribed for HIV, and a lot of the guys that are prescribed growth hormone, they don't take the growth hormone because they can sell it for money and, a decent amount of money. So Serostim goes for between $400 and $600 a kit. So do the math there. 6 times 4 is $2,400. So, I was paying probably around $2,000 a month for my growth hormone. But if I was going through a doctor and getting it prescribed, again, it would be $8,000 a month. That's just on the growth hormone. That's not even talking about the steroids. Steroids, probably I would say that on the top level, someone could be spending anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000 a month, depending on their cycle and their connection and how much they're paying, so on and so forth. But it can be quite pricey. Now, the average lifter in the gym that's just doing it to look good at the beach and look good for the girls, which, whatever. I would say, they're probably spending, maybe $200, maybe $300 a month, which, is nothing. People spend more than that in a week of, drinking. Some people spend more than that in a night of drinking, so it's really not that expensive, but it's just a question that I get asked all the time. So I thought I would touch base on it. And it can be quite expensive. And again, more doesn't always equate to better. Now, when I was younger, that's what I believed. And I could say that I've learned now how to get better results with taking less and not being as obsessed. I mean, I would sit down with a pen and paper and methodically figure out a cycle, and I would sit there for 8 hours at the dining room table figuring out that cycle. And now, there's no thought whatsoever. I don't waste more than 5 seconds thinking about it. It's not that important to me. And I've just learned how to get the best results without having to take everything under the sun. And that's my advice to everyone out there is, do your research and learn as much as you can about anything before you do it. There's always a better way to do something. So make sure you do your research. And again, if you have the choice to be natural or do steroids, stay natural. There's no reason to do steroids. You're only hurting your body, you're hurting yourself. And if you want to become a professional bodybuilder, guess what? You're probably going to have to fucking do them. So you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to do them. And that's the boat I was in. I was competing on stage, and I was at a point where I was getting blown off the stage if I wasn't going to do steroids. So I took that step, and that's the road I chose. And here I am. But you know what? I'm happy with everything I chose and happy with the way everything went in my life. And I would have not done anything different. I'm completely happy with the choices I made of deciding to take steroids at an early age of 18. And my health is fine, everything's good. And it's been, 31 years, I believe, that I've been doing this. And everything's great. I hope this was a help.